Welcome back! I know I promised I will be prompt with the second part, but unfortunately I was feeling a little bit under the weather. I was suffering from what is commonly known in the place I'm from as manly flu, so basically I was having sneezapalooza, I was drowning in the self-pity and expecting everyone to be very compassionate, but now that I am better, let's go back to the Slay the Princess Pristine Cut, and we started with the 4th vessel right now, and we are in the first chapter, Hero and the Princess. And we can explore options here, but we pretty much went through all of reasonable options in the first part of the playthrough. Let's try something ridiculous. Viva la Revolution!
That's the spirit. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
I missed this game. It will be probably some sort of addiction pretty soon, because I just checked and right now the achievements for the Pristine Cuts are also available on the GOG, so bad news, I have only 41 achievements after 3 playthroughs.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
There's so many options and so many branching options. I'm not taking the blade. I want to be peaceful.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
She sounds so cute and so innocent when we are approaching her unarmed.
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Oh, come on. Hi.
Don't be a stranger.
Oh.
It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Please, come downstairs.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Let's talk first.
Okay.
We don't know each other. We don't know if the whole ending the world business is still on the table. What have you actually been drinking or eating if you don't see people?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant.
Yes,
okay, but
always
actually,
relevant.
What has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
Oh.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess?
Let's be damn. So, is the princess your last name?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long, I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name, though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
Okay, what are the options we haven't explored? What are you going to do if I let you out?
The princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
She really haven't been doing herself the favor with acting tough when we approached with the knife. I can understand why she acted the way she acted. She was obviously in the danger, but she didn't seem trustworthy back then.
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the right answer? Because with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter.
Yep.
It's not like you'd believe me.
I think that keeping her locked away is kinda cruel. Be fair. Okay. I don't know anything about you. For all I know, you are locked up down here for the reason.
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason. I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
He's throwing you some cases.
You have all the explanation you need, and you should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
Okay, let's go back and get the blade.
Thank you.
But oh, I don't like this look. I'm not saying that I will kill you. I just want the blade to have the options to, cut her off, for example.
You turn back to the stairs, intent on retrieving the blade in the cabin.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here. You'd better hope for your own sake that I don't slip these chains before you make it back down here.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing.
She's good at bluffing, but I think that we will meet some pretty nasty end.
She has
here.
to be bluffing, but I'd hurry if I were you. You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade, both yours and the world's only possible salvation. Okay, if we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. I suppose we have a world to save after all. You slowly creep down the basement stairs. It's quiet.
Oh no, we don't have other options than the violence if we grab the blade, right? I mean...
Where the princess sat only a moment ago, there's only a severed arm, its cooling flesh still chained to the wall. And she is nowhere to be seen. Is it just me? Or did this room get a lot bigger?
Okay, can we start over? Because I just wanted the blade, just in case. Which is bad on its own, but...
Oh, you coward!
I am a
No.
coward.
I don't think we can. Why don't you come closer? I have something to show you.
Your eyes dart to the corners of the room. You don't see her. Where is she? You close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place.
Oh, damn you,
Maybe they'll
narrator.
open if you finish the job.
I'll wait.
Do you want to play a waiting game? I've been down here a long, long time. I'm very good at waiting.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
You do your best to patiently wait her out. But eventually, exhaustion starts to set in. Come on, wake up. We can't fall asleep down here.
Let's keep waiting. I'm not going to the shadows.
You wait for as long as you can, pushing yourself to stay awake and stay vigilant. But you can't outwait someone who's been waiting for as long as she remembers. You barely even realize that you've started to drift off. Pain tears you from your sleep. The princess is upon you, ripping into your flesh, unnaturally sharp teeth and claws severing arteries and digging into organs. There's nothing to be done. You're already half gone. It can't just end like this. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Ooh.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay.
Yeah, I know it. I know. And I want to ask you something, my dear. Okay, no.
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. If he doesn't remember what happened, then something else must have trapped us here.
I really like Voice of the Haunted. It's played out very well.
You're not trapped here. Nobody's forcing you to do anything, though the only sensible thing for you to do right now is march up to that cabin and slay the princess.
And because of obvious connotations, with the Jonathan Sims voicing him, it reminds me of Magnus Archives, and I really have to get to listening to Magnus Protocol, the second part of Magnus Archives, let's say. Okay, let's proceed to cabin. That's
A warning
no
before you
point
go any
in being
further.
stubborn.
She will lie.
Yep,
She will
I
cheat.
know.
Does a cat lie to a cornered mouse when it plays with its freedom? Or is it just acting out its nature? I don't see why that matters. A lie's a lie, and if anything, she's the one who's cornered. She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear and smell. That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously. Maybe.
But maybe not.
The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated. It feels like no one has lived here for a long time, wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the wooden walls. The only furniture of note is a termite-eaten table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
The art style really grown on
The
me.
blade is your implement.
I was
You'll need
skeptical
it if
at
you want to
best
do this
at
right.
first. Okay, let's approach the mirror. I want to hear what the Voice of the Haunted has to say.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second, and now it's gone.
Okay, let's take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece, though you'll have to be mindful of holes. The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet, as if you're descending into a jungle. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. She growls up the stairs.
I can smell you.
She sounds almost feral, impatient, or maybe eager. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere.
I am seeing her tail, I think. I wonder how she looks like as a whole creature right now, because this is definitely not humanoid.
You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain behind her. Remember, she's just a princess. She is certainly not just a princess.
Definitely not.
You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you. And a little splinter clutched in trembling hands won't save you from me.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now.
Okay. I'm absolutely listening to you, my friend.
You lunge to the side, picking a direction on instinct. As you land, you're buffeted by a gust of air, disturbed by the sudden motion of a massive body. The princess. In an instant, she's pounced on the spot where you would have been, her chains rattling across the floor behind her.
She has wings. Here? Oh, this is such a cool design.
Before you can blink, she's gone, vanishing once more into the shadows. But you still feel her gaze on you.
You're faster than you were before, but you're still meek, reactive, prey.
You whirl around to find her, and your gaze meets hers, a pair of shining eyes peering out at you from just beyond the basement stairs.
That's exactly how I imagine that the flies are feeling when they meet my cat.
So she's cut off our escape. Shit, what do we do?
Okay, let's talk with her. We don't have to kill each other. Maybe we can help each other.
You cannot reason your way out of this, fledgling. There's no compromise with what I am.
At least she's upfront about her intentions.
I was sent to kill you because you're a threat to the world. I'm starting to believe that's true. Stop hiding and show yourself.
If you want to see me, you should get better at seeing.
Good.
She knows that her strength lies in shadows and secrets. She won't reveal herself unless she has to. She's coiling for another strike. Be somewhere else. We're on the back foot. The back foot keeps us nimble, keeps us alive. It doesn't matter if it keeps us alive, if it eventually kills us. We need to take back the momentum. We need to do something.
Yeah, let's survive.
Jungle, barely moving out of the way before the princess surges past you with a speed that makes her practically unseen.
You are deflecting.
And you bear your weakness to the world.
Kinda, yeah. What do you want?
I want to swallow you whole, and I will get what I want. You have no exit. You have no hope. You live and die by my whims, and my whims alone.
Don't ask her what she wants, just slay her. Is that all the advice you have? We don't even know what she looks like. Some specifics would be very helpful. She's just a princess. Don't overthink it. She's clearly not.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of definition of princess you are following, my friend, but she is not one.
A tickling sensation rises at the base of your neck. Flee. We can't keep doing this. You're a little slow, or maybe she's a little faster. You avoid her slavering jaws, but she manages to graze you, her titanic momentum skinning you along your side.
Ew.
It's like being sideswiped by sandpaper. How is she that fast?
You're bleeding now.
You instinctively touch your side, testing her claim. It's wet and stings from the gentle touch of your fingertips. A costly mistake. We can't make it again. We will make it again unless something changes. We have to break the pattern.
Okay.
We need more time. She's cutting off our escape.
Our game is nearing its end.
It kinda is. We need to... Yeah, we need to do something.
Why does anything kill anything else? She needs to.
I didn't say I wanted to kill you.
It sounds like she wants to do something even worse. What she wants only matters if she wins, and you're not going to let that happen. She's more tense this time. She means this next blow to be the last. The mere thought of moving again makes your bloodied side ache. We're exhausted. We're bleeding. We're still alive. We owe it to ourselves to move.
Let's hit her back.
This isn't
I'm
going
sorry.
to work. We're in her domain and we are bleeding. Exactly. If we don't do something now, we're finished. As the princess lunges at you from the shadows once more, you tighten your grip, lashing out with the blade. But your injured side stretches and tears as you move, and you find yourself slowed by the sudden pain. The princess, Moore's unhinged and dripping, eyes fierce and full of hunger, closes in on you. You are devoured.
Oops.
I guess that's it then, isn't it? Unfortunately for you, no. This isn't it. You are in a dark and caustic place. A thick, fibrous lining constricts around you, its slick surface impossible to grip. Your hands scrabbling uselessly at your surroundings as they compress in on you. Your lungs can barely expand in such a tiny space. Not that the humid, finite air grants you more than a few shallow breaths at a time.
She really swallowed me whole. What the... This is crazy.
The liquid pooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin. You itch, then sting, then burn as the acid begins its slow work.
When I killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me. You belong down there, it screamed at me. The world is better off without you in it.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as the corrosive liquid sloshes around you, but there will be no respite for you in sight. The burning grows stronger, and you can feel layers of you being peeled away.
But you don't belong down here. You came from somewhere else. You came from out there. So I consumed your dead heart, and I carried it in my throat, and I draped what was left of you on my back, and I threw myself against that door.
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, she lurches forward, your body lurching right along with her. Her chains. She's loose.
But even then, it denied me freedom. You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay. I know your true nature, and it is suffering.
Gravity pulls at you as you're hefted upwards, the distant creaking of ancient wooden steps barely audible over the thudding of the princess's heart.
And then it was gone, and I was here. A new enclosure, a nicer cage. but still a prison. I learned from my wounds. You're alive now. We can leave together.
Does that work? Could she free herself if we're alive in here? Do you really need me to give you a definitive answer for you to understand that the situation is grim? Stop her. Do something. You still have that steel claw. Tear through her before we are her. Survive. Or we could use it to make this quick for ourselves. If she needs us in order to leave, we could at least deny her that. That is a bad thing to do.
Yeah, can you talk to the cabin if cabin as a place is speaking to the princess?
I understand it.
Huh.
And it understands me. Talking is for those who don't know how to listen.
Your body is violently jostled, the disruption causing burning skin to slop from raw muscle, and you hear what you can only assume is the princess pulling against the door to the cabin.
The cage is still locked.
I don't think we can talk our way out of this. We are drowning in death. There's no more space for words.
Okay, let's not try our luck and try to dig.
Though you have little room to move, you use what strength you can muster to drive the blade forward into the thick walls of tissue digesting you.
I can feel you tearing through me, but are you swift enough for it to matter?
Pulling returns to banging as the princess desperately throws everything at the cabin door. Your flesh screams as your reddened, spongy body is hit with fresh waves of blistering acid.
You can't hold me forever.
Yeah. You could have asked me before swallowing me alive. Not really. It wasn't an option. It was constant fight or flight.
You slice again, deeper, rooting through her meat with the tip of your blade, until at last it finds her beating heart. But will can never truly exceed the limits of the flesh. Your vision finally begins to blur, your eyes clouding over as they melt in their sockets. What little air remains in this rancid stew of flesh and slippery organs is finally too foul to breathe, and your lungs mercifully give out before you have to suffer another burning, liquefying moment. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Oh.
We are a path in the woods. We have no beginning, and we have no end. But something cold and unnatural sits watching us from just beyond our edge. His gaze pushes against our borders, curling them in on themselves, preventing them from stretching to the places they need to reach.
No, that's all wrong. You're not a path in the woods, you're on a path in the woods. Who's even saying that? That's not the princess, is it? Oh no. How many times have you been here?
I love Wild soundtrack. It's very Icelandic in the feel. Like, I don't know what is it about this, probably the chorus, but it kind of reminded me of Icelandic music. Yeah, it's beautiful.
I think this is our third? That's bad. That's very, very bad. It wasn't even supposed to reach 2. If you're at 3, well, no wonder things aren't the way they're supposed to be. Let's get our facts straight. What happened last time? What could you have possibly done for things to be like this?
The thing that sits beyond our edge speaks his logic into us. He tries to grasp at things that cannot be grasped. He tries to stare with wide pupils at that which can only be held from the corner of the eye or with a passing glance.
Shut up. The rest of you, talk. What happened? What did you do? Can she hear us if we talk?
I can hear everything, little one, But you don't have to be afraid of me. There's no place where you end and I begin. Nothing can hurt you here. Not anymore.
That's just because she devoured us and we dissolved away. We don't even exist as a body anymore. We're still here, though. And if we're safe, isn't that better? She ate you. And now you're convinced that you're stuck together. What a mess.
He doesn't understand. We aren't convinced of anything, and we aren't stuck together. We're one. This is how we're supposed to be. Can't you feel it?
I guess that's it then. This is us now. We're the woods. Okay.
Yeah, what is he? Who's the narrator?
I'm not watching you, I'm trying to help you. That's not an answer to our question.
I don't know what he is. I only know that he is something other, and that he wishes for you and I to tear ourselves apart.
I do want that, but only because it's in your best interests. It's in everyone's best interests. You won't be able to slay her unless you remove yourself from her.
He wants us to kill each other.
I don't. I want you to kill her. Don't be charmed by her faux solidarity. You're not in this together. She's the only one who poses a threat to the world, and she's trying to make you go along with it. You don't have to enable her, especially when you have what it takes to stop her.
I mean, we kinda are in here together because we are just cycling back to the chapter 1 every time. Okay, how can we stop the narrator? How can we stop the princess? Why should anyone do anything right now? This is fine, I like being this. Why are you being nice to me? You ate me, literally.
We can't go back to that.
Oops.
We can't go back to the fear and the hunger and the pain. Not after being something as beautiful as this.
Doesn't
Okay.
all that conflict feel so far away right now? So petty? We've been posed against each other by something that understands the strength of our unity.
I can feel a thumping, a heartbeat, like a distant terror that keeps getting louder the more we pay attention.
Please, stop. If you let it in, we'll fall apart.
Don't look at it!
Okay, let's try to not look at
No,
this.
you can't bury that feeling. You can't hide from your past.
But I can start anew.
The past doesn't have to exist. Our freedom is within us. We just have to find it.
You fall inward into a network of connections too vast for your mind to occupy. Are you a path in the woods? Are you a body? Can you even grasp the fuzziest edges of the shapes that confine you?
We can change to fill them together.
We don't need to be everywhere. We just need to test the boundaries. You'd do best to remember that some wounds will never heal. Some rifts can never be mended. Even in rebirth, some things never come back the same. What is he going on about? What does he know about us? This is all too much. Why can't we just let her do as she sees fit? She's the one who can handle being vast. It's not for us. It's not for me. You aren't whole. You'll never be whole again. This struggle is meaningless. Whatever you think you're doing, you will fall apart.
What do you know, Mr. Narrator? You know everything and you are not sharing.
We don't need to be made whole. All we need to do is find a single corner of his cage and break it.
You stretch and search and stretch and search, growing as you decay and decaying as you grow. As you strain beyond your limits, the ground around you becomes dry and unstable and crumbles into nothing beneath you. This place will fall apart before you find its end. This task, whatever it is you think you're doing, is impossible. All he has are words, and words aren't real. We're real.
I can hold us together for a little while longer, so long as you trust me.
Of course we do. To the ends of the earth.
Yeah, pretty similar case as we had with the apotheosis. We're looking for the exit.
You won't find anything. If I have to starve you, if I have to sacrifice my world to keep the princess at bay, I'll do it. Don't move an inch. Don't grow another blade of grass or harvest the remains of another dying creature so you can expand just that much further. Stop all of this. Right now. I think it's too late for that, mate.
I'm at your side. Shatter it and free us all.
No, stop!
Is this what he kept from us? Is this why he made us kill each other?
It's beautiful. We need to be there. We won't be safe until we are. We won't be whole.
Where did it go? Why is everything so cold?
She's gone. And there's that mirror again. What? This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. That thing reeks of death. I don't want to look at us.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there?
Yeah, no idea, do you know?
Rhetorical. I am not rhetorical. I have only known these spaces, and I have known flickers of the lives you've brought me. Short and violent and full of passion. But all of those flickers end where the long quiet begins. I'm asking you because I cannot know your mind. Do you know what we'll find out there? There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last. This one is like a shadow of me, twisting vines in search of answers. She will make for a curious heart. Do not mourn her. She has found what she yearned for.
Yeah, do you know about the voices and the narrator?
No, their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do if I find him.
There's no need for you to know what you are going to do before you do it. If you find him, remember that I'll be waiting for you on the other side. If I did, I would already be awake. The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
You're here.
Yep. Let's go. Let's go to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find... We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. Ignore him. He doesn't... The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Yeah, we are not taking the blade and we are not doing any creepy moves this time.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Probably releasing her would be a better favor, but you know, what do I know?
Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
You are? It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the... She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake.
Let's be normal, let's just rescue a girl.
No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Yep, let's go check the upstairs. I don't think there is a key.
Okay,
But, you know.
I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Yeah, your favorite creek.
Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
Yeah, we have a lot of chewing the flesh in this playthrough.
As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Let's save her.
Fine. Against your better judgment,
And
you
those
place the blade
dull
against
eyes.
the ragged,
Look at her.
self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding. You cut into her flesh.
She's looking at us like the cat begging for the treats.
The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
I'm warning her.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
See, narrator, that's why we are not trusting you. You always pull up this kind of shitty behavior, locking us down, trying to take over our body.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
She's killing me cutely, but ineffectively.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
She's terrible at that.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Hey.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her.
No, but I died. Okay. Oh, you bastard. You are in for it now.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We just met for the first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he?
Oh, the voice of the
If we're going to
smitten.
save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
I mean, he proven through many paths and playthroughs that he is actually very strong-willed and effective, but it's so tough to listen to him. It's just so much.
Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works. We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving. A warning. Before you go any further, she will lie. We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in. I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed. Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead. The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Let's go to the basement without the blade. I'm not risking that you will do something
The
nasty,
door to the
Mr.
basement creaks
Narrator.
open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice, it's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already. I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. You
Yep.
barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
And she's getting creeps.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing. And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it?
I mean, who doesn't like a little bit of flattery? Come on.
Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before. That's right, villain. And you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. We damned a whole world. But everything reset. Nothing resets. You're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever. Especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible.
Rescue her.
Rescue her? What are you talking about? Did you forget that she's a world-ending monstrosity? And even if you wanted to unleash her onto the world, despite the complete moral disaster that would be, you'd have to get her out of those chains. Good luck with that.
I mean, she has really cute dress for the monstrosity, and I'm not buying the monstrosity narrative. Hello, Lokita. Not sure if she's audible.
Don't you see how dainty her hands are? You'll be able to slip her out with ease. No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. If her hand could just slip out of the chains, why hasn't she done it already? Because we've yet to present her with her freedom. I'm not sure I follow. Would you rather believe me,
Nobody
a
follows.
passionate heart guided by love and my own good nature? Or would you rather believe the devil on your shoulder who tells you what you can and cannot do?
Lokita, they are talking about you, you little devil.
I think I'd rather believe in facts. Ah, so you're one of those empiricists. One of us has to be. Then let me show you a brand new truth. Narrator, we courageously step forward and free our beloved from her bindings. No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon.
Yeah, that's why we don't have the weapon.
Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
Oh, you are so needy for attention. Come on. Let me finish the game.
You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you. There's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
God, she's so cute in the Damsel design, although the voice sounds kinda shallow without her own, agenda and will.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved.
Bro, that's why we are not having the blade.
Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
Okay. What do you want to do?
Let me guess. End the world?
Oops.
Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection, and then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Sorry for the kitty disturbance. Okay.
I just want to make you happy.
She can't just want to make us happy. It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
Yeah, there must be something you want.
I just
as
want
a
to make you
person.
happy.
Is she broken? What's going on? What's going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar. Are you starting to trust me now?
Nope. But what would make you happy?
I just want to make you happy.
Oh.
This isn't right. I don't know what's going on, but this isn't right. I fail to see the problem here. She's just sweet on us. You don't have to act like it's a big deal.
Okay, what if we stay here?
Oh, is that really what you want? If you think that would make you happy, then...
Yeah, she clearly doesn't want to stay in here.
Her eyes dart uncomfortably to the corners of the room.
I guess we could do that.
Oh, at least she's normal again. Normal again? Can't you tell she's sad? She's distraught.
She is.
But she can't be unhappy about staying with us. Can she? No. It has to be him. It has to be this place. If we just made these walls more fitting for a princess, if we just say the right things, if we just showed her the contents of our heart, as the voice thinks its thought, your hands raise, fingers pointing towards your chest, and then... What? No, you absolutely do not do that.
Yeah. Why? I think it shouldn't be done so literally.
Oh, but I do. What? What is he doing? We can't see unless you tell us. Are you sure you want to know? I suppose I can't stall forever. You plunge your nails into your chest, digging deep, grasping for a handhold. And you find it, your fingers curling around your ribs.
Oh no, what are you doing? Are you okay? You can't do that and be okay.
Yep.
Time out. He should not be allowed to do that. He's not the decider. And yet, it's done, isn't it? It will be soon. You yank violently, your bones cracking with wet pops as you pull yourself apart inch by painful inch. Your exposed heart, framed by jagged ribs, thumps rhythmically in your raw, bloodied chest. The loosened, threads of your body unfurling to cover the surface of the room. Don't mind my sacrifice. It's a fair price to pay to give her everything she doesn't know she wants.
Sounds a little bit as too much, you know. Like a golden cage.
Oh, I see. You're trying to tell me something.
The princess, mesmerized, reaches towards your beating heart, and then... everything goes dark and we die?
Yep.
Yes.
Mr. Smitten.
You're on a path in the woods. Mate, we're clearly already in the cabin. Excuse me? You're clearly... Oh. Huh. So you are. How do you know about the cabin? I didn't get to the cabin part of my opening monologue yet. We've been here before. Well, not here, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You knew about the loop-in last time. Not that he was eager to divulge that.
Yep.
Right on cue, here's the new guy. Welcome! I can't say I'm happy to be here. This is a bad place. All stale and wrong. Can't you feel it? Okay, yes, I get it. You've been here before. That's terrible. You know that, right? Because the only reason you would have been here before is if you failed in whatever world you'd come from. Meaning you doomed an entire other reality. But I'm sure since you're so well-travelled, you know that, yes? We know that you keep telling us that, but we've never seen a world end. As far as I'm concerned, that whole conversation is just noise. And I'm stuck on a better question. Where's the other one? The other one? Yeah, a certain lovesick fool has been suspiciously quiet. One might even say, absent.
Yeah, good point.
Oh, you're right. It's a little quiet here, isn't it? Maybe that's one of the rules. Maybe only one bonus voice is allowed to be here at a time. Bonus voice? I'm just as important as you are. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. All I'm saying is that it's my third time here and it's your first. You're not unwelcome, but from my perspective, you're definitely bonus. I'm going to describe the room now. The interior of the cabin is vast and regal. High arched windows line the walls, their multicolored glass casting kaleidoscopic patterns across the stone floor. An iron chandelier hangs from the vaulted ceiling, its many candles lit with flickering light, vaguely illuminating the massive room. This is a house fit for royalty. Before you, there isn't a blade, is there? That's not good. I see your point, but it's still an option that's been taken away from us. I don't like losing options. Yes, and it's an important one. It's your implement. You're going to need it if you want to do this right. And the fact that you're here, right now, again, means that you have not yet done this right. But it's not there, is it? We don't even get the choice. So, what are we supposed to do? I don't actually know. I'm sure it'll turn up somewhere. It has to. It's part of the whole structure of this place, I think. At the very least, it's important.
Okay, let's approach the mirror.
You cross the room, stopping just in front of the door to the basement. The handle is right there. Do feel free to give it a push as soon as you'd like. There is no door, there's a mirror. No, there isn't. What a strange thing to lie about. That's because I'm not lying. Look, if you need help, just raise your hand, and I'll guide it where it needs to go. You reach forward, your hand instinctively wrapping around the handle.
Oh, the doors are pretty too.
It's gone. I don't like things disappearing on us. I don't like how fluid reality seems to be. Neither do I. And then you push the door open. Marvellous. We can proceed. It would seem that the stairs to the basement don't lead to a basement at all. Rather, they go up. They're draped in fine carpet too, one that feels pleasantly soft against your feet. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably... no, it doesn't work here at all. This place is nice. It's fancy, even. I have to say, whatever you did in your previous lives, I deeply dislike how much it's thrown me off my rhythm.
It is totally different. Okay.
Well, if all of this has thrown you off your rhythm so much, then maybe we don't have to slay the princess. No, you absolutely do. Just because she lives in a nice house doesn't mean she doesn't pose a direct threat to all of reality. It's in her very nature. Am I the only one who remembers how much she changed last time? Does she even have a nature? That is precisely why she poses a threat.
Oh, someone doesn't like changes.
I don't know, she got weird for a second, yeah, but she didn't change that. We have to move on. This is a wildly dangerous line of reasoning. No, you can't just say that and not... Her voice, gentle and warm, with an undercurrent of fatigue, rolls down the stairs.
You're home. Dinner's ready.
As much as I desperately want to know what happened last time, we are not going to examine it. The more we think, the worse this gets. Why are you so on edge? This is much nicer than what we're used to. I'd like to have dinner. Dinner sounds nice. That is the problem. This isn't supposed to be nice, and she's supposed to be a prisoner. I need to stop talking. I need to stop talking. Just go upstairs, okay? And don't eat the food.
I know that this is a rule in many fables that you shouldn't be eating the food because it's either enchanted or it's binding you to some contract, but come on, we are going to eat.
This hall, like the one below, is grand and beautiful. Torches bathe the room in warm, comforting light, just enough to illuminate the tapestries along every wall, woven with scenes of chivalry and courtship and romance. The many cloth eyes are fixed on each other, gazes averted from the long table in the center of the room, the princess seated at its far end.
Yeah, I think we all know who's that big shadow behind her.
Your pristine blade glints in the weak torchlight, hanging from a golden chain around the princess's neck. So that's where it is. And the tip is already pointed right at her heart. Okay, everything is falling back into place. All you have to do is cross the room, push down a little, and the entire world is saved. That's easy. Isn't that suspiciously easy? There has to be a twist. There has to be something waiting for us. You saw what happened to her last time. She's not what she seems.
You're here. Now we can start being happy together. Why don't you sit down? Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, she sounds so defeated.
As the words leave her mouth, the torches flare and a chair swings in from behind, knocking your legs out from under you. You're forcibly seated at the head of the table.
Isn't that better? It is better, right?
What is this place?
It's our happy ending, just like you asked for. It's everything we're supposed to have ever wanted.
What are we supposed to do now?
Oh, right, dinner. I totally forgotten about it.
Flames burn bright and a shadow dives across the table. In its wake, it leaves a feast.
Go ahead and dig in. I'm sure you're hungry.
Remember what I said. Oh, but it looks so amazing, and after everything we've been through, we could really use a break. Are you sure we need to be so concerned? I'm not sure about anything, and that's the problem. For what it's worth, I generally don't think one should trust strange food that magically appears on a table. But nothing here is exactly what I expected it to be, so make of that what you will. You begin to feast, and the princess follows suit, her soft smile never fading. The food is more exquisite than you ever could have imagined. You sample countless otherworldly dishes, sauces and bread and hearty stews whose tastes dance across your tongue. You tear at hunks of meat practically melting from the bone, juicy and tender and bursting with flavors you could scarcely begin to describe. Your cup fills itself again and again with a flowery nectar so sweet it tastes like glimmering jewels. This really is perfect, isn't it? It is the best meal you've ever had. But then it's over, and you're just as hungry as when you began.
Wasn't that perfect? We should do it again.
My cat is climbing the cat tree in a very noisy manner.
The shadow washes across the table, clearing and replating. The feast is once again laid before you. The food is good. Again, you tear into golden crispy flesh, dab at the slurry of aromatic sauces on your plate with thick crusted bread, sip your goblet of sparkling gems. But you have done this already. And then it's over, and you're just as hungry as when you began.
You're still hungry too, right? I know this wasn't as good as it was last time, but we just have to do it again. That's all. It'll be perfect if we just do it again.
That's why stagnation is not always good.
So
It's
the
never
shadow
good.
sweeps over the table, clearing the old and laying out the new. And so you do it again. The meat is fine, the bread is fine. You sample the side dishes and they're fine too. You finish your goblet, the liquid within no longer glimmering on your palate, instead leaving your mouth coated in a tacky film. You put it down and it fills again. You do not drink more. So we had a mediocre meal. It's not a big deal. That's the trap. It wasn't mediocre at first. It's trending down. We're just getting a little sick of it. So what? We just have to try something new. I'm sure we won't be stuck eating the same meal forever. Regardless of quality, it's over again, and you're just as hungry as when you began.
No, something was wrong that time. But maybe I was just tasting it wrong. It looks just as good as it did the first time. It shouldn't taste like this.
Yeah, this is typical golden cage, and she is feeling obligated to enjoy.
Again, the shadow replaces your feast, and again you eat. The meat is greasy. The bread is tough, its crust hurting your jaw as you chew. The grey vegetables are barely worth the effort of picking through. You don't even touch the goblet, its sickly sweet aroma utterly unappealing. I'm so tired of eating. At least you still have the memory of how good it was the first time, right?
When even narrator is trying to cheer me up.
I'm so tired of this.
As the words leave her mouth, one of the torches on the wall sputters and then goes out entirely.
What just happened? Did I do something wrong?
A light went out. Maybe a coincidence, but maybe not. As if in response to the dousing of their brother, the other 3 torches blaze brighter, their flames licking at the walls. Their shadows deepen, dancing angrily across the stone.
Yeah, you just said the truth, and it's
But
okay.
it was wrong. I took away a piece of our light. I'm not supposed to do that. I don't want him to be upset with me.
But you have to communicate. Who is he? Of course,
He's
it's
the
Mitten.
voice that whispers sweet nothings in my ear.
Mhm.
I think he made this place for us.
It all makes sense now. It's him, isn't it? He's making all this happen. He's the one who trapped us here. Who? The lovesick one, the one from last time. He's not gone. He's just with her now. He's the shadow.
Smitten?
The torches flare and the shadow grows for a moment, but you don't receive a response. No, I saw him smile. That's him. Regardless, it would seem that he, if there is a he, isn't something you can talk to.
He says his words are just for me. But he wants me to ask, isn't this enough? Isn't this what you wanted him to do? He says he's tired. I don't think he'll answer anything else you have to say. I don't know. Maybe we could play a game. Yeah, that's exactly what we should do.
The flames roar and the shadow comes dancing across the table. It leaves behind an intricate game, its pieces elegant and beautiful and enticing, its simple rules already apparent, even with little explanation.
We can probably work together to figure this out as we go.
Yet another waste of time. Why
Yes.
all the distractions? What are we being distracted from? That's the real game. I feel like I'm 2 steps behind.
We are distracted from the fact that she's not happy. She wants to live. And she wants to leave the cabin.
You're overthinking it, mate. I feel like this is just something to do. We might as well try to have some fun. You and the princess do indeed figure it out as you go. And what a game it is. The tension between turns, the triumphant highs of moves well placed, and the tragic lows of miscalculations and careless plays. The warmth of trust and the cool texture of deception. And then, the climax, as she places her final piece.
Oh, I think we got the rules wrong.
And so you start over. Time passes. You play the game. You win. Hey! Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh, you won. I guess we can play again.
Time passes. You play the game. She wins.
Oh, I won. I guess we can play again.
There is a long pause, and the board does not reset.
This isn't fun anymore, is it?
It's never going to stay fun. You don't need me to tell you that it isn't. Oh. The princess visibly panics as another torch sputters.
Wait. Maybe this is just too easy. Maybe if we added more rules and pieces, it would be fun again.
Yeah. The game's just a little simple. We can make it fun again. The shadow descends on the board once again. More pieces are added, their shapes more intricate, their purposes less immediately clear, and the two of you set about discovering the complexities of the game anew. And so you do. And it is fun again. In fact, it's almost as fun as the first time you played, and the sputtering torch roars back to life. But then you get used to the additions, and the feeling starts to fade. A creeping numbness settling in over the board. More pieces are added. The feelings flare. The feelings fade. The princess suggests new rules. A glimmer of what could have been excitement flits through your mind, quickly vanishing as the game progresses. Your pieces advance in an ever-increasing slog to their destination.
Yeah, this is torture of boredom and stagnation and repeats.
Winning and losing become nothing but ends. And even the end becomes nothing as you roll over into a new game, the board resetting as many times as you can finish. Till finally...
I'm out of ideas. I'm actually out of ideas this time. I don't think I can play anymore.
This is perfect representation of the cycle we are stuck in.
As the words leave the princess's mouth, another torch goes out. Again, the remaining flames burn brighter, and the shadow dances faster.
I'm happy, I promise. We're both so happy here. You don't have to be upset.
This is awful. I think we all know that we're not happy. We just have to admit it to ourselves.
Okay. The place isn't right, and we have to get rid of the shadow.
Why would we ever do that? We need the light. It's what keeps us happy. Oh, I know. We should do something. How about...
The princess's face drops as she pauses mid-sentence.
Would you look at that? I'm out of ideas.
The third torch sputters out. The princess's shadow dances furiously against the far wall.
There's just one left. What's going to happen when it goes out?
What do you think will happen? Don't worry about what's going to happen. What would you choose to happen? Whatever the shadow have been showing us isn't real. We need to see what happens when the lights go out. Okay, and we don't have to let it go out. We have to let it go out, so don't worry. What would you choose?
I think I'd like to dance under the stars.
That sounds lovely.
But there aren't any stars here. I'd have to leave.
As she says that, the shadow rushes forward and tightens its grip on her wrists.
I'm not happy here. I don't think I ever was.
The princess sobs, burying her face in her hands as the final torch blows out.
I think that this is one of my favorite roots, next to the thorn and to the princess and the dragon. Slay the princess, that's tone deaf. Are you okay?
She raises her head, mascara trailing down her cheeks.
No, it feels like an important part of me is gone. But I'm still here. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know how I'm supposed to pick up the pieces.
The princess's eyes dart to the floor.
Well, we can't sit here forever. That part of us is over.
The princess pushes herself from her chair, and you instinctively do the same, waiting by the top of the stairs as she quietly crosses the room.
Do you still care about me?
Yeah, I think I do, especially after all I saw.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you to say that. I still care about you, too, so maybe this wasn't all bad. But I don't think this place is for us anymore. I think we need to go.
As the princess steps towards the stairs, you offer her your hand. The corners of her mouth curl into a demure smile, and she gently takes your hand in hers. She's cold, a little clammy, but her skin against yours is the most real thing you have ever felt.
It's so bittersweet, and it's so beautiful at the same time.
You're offering surprisingly little resistance. If we leave the cabin, doesn't that end the world? It does, if he's telling the truth. Yes, well, I've seen my fairy tale ending, and I think there might be worse things than the end of the world.
Okay, so you saw the errors of your ways and how we are basically hurting in this place with all eternity and nothing changing and basically being locked out.
Really was just all meaningless blather then, wasn't it? Think what you will. I'm done fighting.
That's actually beautiful. It's beautiful for the last vessel to...
You and the princess don't exchange words as you descend the stairs to the cabin's entrance. And then the two of you step out into the world. I think this is the end of me, even if it's not the end of you. I hope this was worth it. Genuinely, I do.
It's such a beautiful redemption for him.
He's really gone, isn't he? Yeah. There's an itching in the back of my head that feels like it's finally been scratched. No more shadowy figures yanking at our strings. No more strings. I guess we're free.
The stars are so beautiful. I meant it when I said I wanted to dance.
I actually just realized recently that the soundtrack is available on the Spotify, and I couldn't be happier because it is so beautiful.
Thank you for taking me here. This is nice, even if it's a little cold outside.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now? But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. It's calling us. And not in a good way. Oh, I don't like that silence. I think you know what I am.
Ooh. Okay, let's make it count. We have so many questions. I wasn't supposed to see all this, was I?
You were either going to have seen all this, or you weren't going to have seen all this. This is worse, but you still have an opportunity to save the world. You can still slay her.
You just had the redemption arc. Why you don't remember it? What are you? Are you something like me?
Oh, I'm nothing like you. I am an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
Okay. Makes sense that you don't remember your redemption arc at all. Oh! Okay, cool, we can reference it. So you dubbed yourself and you thought all of this was wrong.
Oh, did I? That means nothing in the grand scheme of things. This construct you're in contains every possible world at once. The fact that you managed to find one reality among trillions where I was delusional proves nothing.
Okay, I actually don't want to be cruel. So if the mirror has to be broken, will it be easier for him not to be looked at?
We've already crossed the point of no return. There's no saving me now. Not that there's ever been much of me to save.
Okay. Okay. Are you part of me or are you something else?
No, I'm not a part of you. But that's all a matter of perspective, isn't it? From one vantage point I must seem wholly foreign, but from another, well, all the versions of me that have existed have collectively heard your every thought and driven your every action. If that isn't being part of you, then what is?
Why did you wanted me to slay the princess?
Because among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed. And despite how far you've fallen, you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
You said she contains death. What is she?
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can.
Yeah, so if you want me to destroy the transformation, how the existence will be better than death? It will be just stagnation, and the stagnation is basically decay, so I don't think it's a good idea, bro.
When I broke the cycle, I made sure that the tear was rough. You carry a part of what should be her, and she carries a part of what should be you. Things won't be as they are now, but they won't be nothing either. Besides, anything is better than oblivion. In the end, nobody wants to leave.
Okay, what would it be like to live without her?
Light, burdenless, an eternal pattern of forgetfulness leading into the joys of rediscovery. Everyone will be with the ones they love. No more fear, no more howling chaos. Just life, forever.
Yeah, I think that we saw it with your reward and with how our path, our route with the damsel ended. So,
There's a cruel irony to it all. The only way I could share my dream with the world was to never be able to see it for myself.
Let's see. So many questions. Yeah, do the people outside of the construct know what's going on?
Of course not. The only way this construct could function was if nobody knew what it was doing. But the bones of the universe are old. It's on the cusp of its dying breath, and the people out there are consumed with thoughts of oblivion. When the patterns are wiped from the sand, when the board is reset, who will remember them? All I've done is give them a chance to live outside of the shadow of the end.
Okay, I'm going to lie.
Are you lying? I can't tell. But I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo. And echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
Okay.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am. Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind. Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echoes spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
Can we really just leave? This is a good question. Yeah, why are you not deciding? I still have many questions. If I let you out, the entire world ends for good. I don't think it will happen like this. Let's explore this option or not.
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end, pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us. Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens, just as you and I share reflections of each other's gifts. If we didn't, the winding paths that brought us here wouldn't have been full of strife and conflict. My very nature is paradox, as is yours. You cannot use words to grasp at things that are beyond their reach, and you cannot rationalize that which defies logic. But violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it.
Come on, I wanted to talk.
A picture of a life, and a picture of a life, and a picture of a life. How deep must repetition still our movements, until even the air we breathe is stale? You doused the flames of false devotion, and in my despair, you lifted my chin, and the two of us danced beneath the stars. But the stars can't be seen unless the flames go out, and the walls come crashing down. Can you not do for all things what you did for us? There is no suffering but the lies we tell ourselves. The only real suffering would be a world without my mercy.
A web of nerves, laid upon a web of nerves, laid upon a web of nerves. The shade of a beautiful beginning we can never return to. Where did you end and I begin? When you felt what it was to be me, we held on to each other and pierced the veil of truth. Will you abandon that curiosity now that we are no longer joined in physicality? Oh, is it not? Perhaps you can enlighten me. I kill you, you kill me. Back and forth we go. Faster, faster, faster. I kill you, you kill me. Hollow eyes watch from the dark corners of a forgotten place flooded by emotions left unspoken. The tide rises. I kill you and me. An ending is a passion that can only be expressed with a moment in time. It is a seed for a new beginning. To linger on an ending is to rob it of its life.
I'm speechless because this is intense. I just am so immersed right now.
is left to do is linger. You speak of me as if I am a ghost, but I am right in front of you. What once was one, then was two, and then was one again. You gave me shelter when you burned mine down, and then you struck another match. I pulled you from the ruins, and then we built a life. What once was one, then was one again. The peace didn't last. The worm in your heart came for us. It took you from me, but you took me with you. And together we both left. What once was one, then was two, and also one again. You and I are bound together. To rid yourself of me would be to leave yourself forever incomplete.
Okay, I won't engage with violence.
But violence has defined the flow of everything between us. Do not deny what we are, and do not color our conflict with fear. That cold fire has left your eyes. Are you finally willing to listen? You are weightless in the mode, suspended in the gravity of an idea too great for you to hold. The very ground beneath your feet loses its meaning. There is nothing but me. When you were confronted with my vessel's apotheosis, you chose to accept me, to allow me to burn away all doubt, and turn you into an instrument of my divine will. You accepted that I was everything, and together we found our purpose. Only with both of us is there a future to look towards. It is hope that carves meaning into consciousness.
Okay, I am actually really interested to see what happens if I agree to go with her.
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final peace lies with you.
We truly were a dragon, the cosmic one.
I love you. It's magnificent. Everything, just like it always has been, and just like it always will be.
Oh, it's so cool. Yay! I really like this ending. I was kind of worried because previously I had the ending where we came back to the cabin and the hero left with the princess, and it was also very sweet. It was beautiful, very personal. But this one is also good. It ties up into more of this cosmic destiny struggle and stuff. That's very good. That's so good. Okay, so honestly, let's quiet it down a bit. And that's everything for today. Let me know, what are your thoughts? What ending would you choose? And if you liked, please leave the like. It's actually very nice to see them. And see you next time. Bye.